So a lot of people ask, is business school right for me? And the honest answer is it depends. It's going to depend on a lot of factors like your life stage, what you're currently doing, how much money you're making, what you want out of business school. And so what I'm going to do in this video is try to break it down for you guys and give you 4 different archetypes that I think are the best candidates for business school. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you guys need to know is that business school is a major investment in terms of time and also resources. Top 25 programs can range anywhere from $120,000 to $170,000 across 2 to 3 years. So you got to think about that. There's also going to be a time commitment. Most programs are typically 2 years for full-time. Part-time can range anywhere from 2 to 3 years. And then, of course, they have the accelerated program, which is about a year. But I think that's also a much more diluted experience because they're trying to fast track everything. So really the benefit of an MBA, which is for me personally, the network, is not something you're going to be able to really curate and develop in 1 year versus, let's say, 3 years, unless you can be really on top of it and spend as much time as you can. Now, I think there's 4 archetypes where business school makes the most sense. And the first one is the pioneer. The pioneer is basically someone who wants to blaze new trails. They want to start a new company. They want to take some risks. And they might be entrepreneurs who want to up-level their skills and learn how to do management. You don't really need an MBA as a pioneer. Oftentimes, you can gain these skills and experiences through your day-to-day and just starting your own company. MBA school can also be a great way for you to meet other potential co-founders. There's a lot of smart people who have also started companies who decide to go into business school. And so this could also be a great way to network and not only find co-founders, but also potential future employees. People who fit into this category, you might think of Phil Knight, who started Nike. He went to business school, I think Stanford, and he was able to help grow Nike to where it is today. Now, the second archetype that I think are good candidates for business school are the explorers. These are the people who want to consider switching industries, or they might want to change companies, or maybe even change their job function. This is the category where I was fitting in. I was already in tech, but I was in a role that I didn't really see myself in long term. And so I wanted to go to business school so that I would have additional options. Explorers are people who want to potentially change one or all 3. And going to school and getting an MBA is really a signal to employers that you've gone through a pretty rigorous program and have established some sort of a problem-solving framework that can be leveraged across almost any different industry or business environment. And so if you're an explorer and you fit into this category, then business school also makes a lot of sense. Now, the third category is what I refer to as the climbers. These are the people who want to climb the corporate ladder. Maybe you've hit sort of a glass ceiling or you've plateaued in your current job function. An MBA from a top program can definitely fast track you into management or to a different role. You might not give you the immediate compensation bump, especially if you're already making very good money, but an MBA can be a differentiator, especially if a lot of your peers and coworkers don't have one. It can also make you stand out and signal to potential management and decision makers that you're someone who's gone through a rigorous program and has leadership management potential to get to that next level. Now, the last but not least, I would say that the wanderers, these are the type of people who don't know exactly what they want to do. I remember in my class, I had classmates who fit into this category where maybe they were just a little bit lost or they didn't know exactly what they wanted to do. Maybe they wanted to take a little bit of time off. Wanderers are often those who want to try something different. Maybe they'll do an internship. Maybe they'll use business school as a way to network and meet other people. But for these category of people, I think it's still important to have an idea of what you want to accomplish through the MBA. Maybe it's to add to your resume. Maybe it's a chance to network or break into an industry or company that you've always wanted to do, but never have had the chance to do so. Wanderers can definitely make that happen, but you also have to be very intentional and deliberate about what you want, because just going into a program, they're not going to spoon feed you everything. You're still going to have to make the key decisions and make choices to unlock specific doors. And so even if you fit into this category, I feel like you do need to have an idea of what you want, but you do have a little bit of a grace period to figure things out. Now, with going to business school, like I mentioned, there's always going to be trade-offs and downsides. There's always going to be that risk of maybe not getting the ROI that you expected, especially if you're already in a very high income bracket already. No-name schools may also not give you the lift and the advantage that you were looking for. Also, you have to think about the time commitment. 2 to 3 years on average for completing an MBA program is a long time. And there's the opportunity cost of using that time for something else. Maybe you can build a company, maybe you can join a startup or do something else on the side. And so you always have to think about the sacrifice that you need to make, because even for part-time programs, you're either going to be taking classes at night or on the weekend. And for me, I chose the weekend program because I wanted to actually spend time on campus and get to know my classmates. But that's also something you need to think about. MBA programs are also very expensive. They can range from anywhere from, $50, $60, $100,000 to about 180 for some of the more well-known programs. And not every employer is going to help support that. Oftentimes you're going to have to apply for loans, get grants, or just pay out of pocket to cover your tuition. For me personally, the MBA definitely did pay off and it opened a lot of doors for me. But if you don't know exactly what you want out of it, I would strongly recommend that you take some time for yourself and really ask yourself what you want, because it's going to give you so much more clarity and direction as you go through the program rather than just kind of aimlessly wandering. Anyways, guys, those are my 4 archetypes who I think can get the most benefit from an MBA program. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree. And if you guys did recently complete an MBA, let me know if your experience was worthwhile and if you got the ROI that you expected. I'll catch you guys in the next video.